Yo, what's up? It's Jason. I am back, and I am back at home, back in the record room here, and doing another letter in the long series of alphabet records we have here. Random pulls from the record collection. Well, maybe not so random, but today we are doing the letter L. And I got a bunch of stuff actually from Los Angeles, turns out. Some female fronted bands, which I think Jacob would appreciate. Jacob's music channel, of course, was the impetus for starting this whole thread series, and he has since stopped doing his letters, but we're going to continue on here. So I am just going to kick things off with a legend, godfather, one of the godfathers of rock and roll. We got Little Richard here. And this is my only Little Richard album, actually. It's a compilation of sorts. Shut Up. It's on Rhino Records. This is a 1988 edition. Got some cool tracks on here. Taxi Blues. Crying in the Chapel. Hound Dog. His version of Hound Dog on here. Fool at the Wheel. All that stuff. So, Little Richard, Shut Up. Kicking it off for the L's. And then out of LA... Now this band could also be in my W section, but I'm putting them in the L's. That's because it's LA. LA's Wasted Youth. Second album, they just go by Wasted Youth, but sometimes they go by LA's Wasted Youth. I guess there was other Wasted Youth bands out there. This is Reagan's Inn. Very cool debut EP. I believe this is the one that has F Authority on it as well. This is a reissue that came out on Jackpot Records out of Portland. And yep, it's got You're a Jerk, F Authority. Super fast record. Looking at the song lengths, about a minute each song. 5 songs per side. So you get the picture. That's LA's Wasted Youth. Some hardcore, old school Los Angeles hardcore. Now also out of LA, we got some female-fronted, all-female band, actually, band members. Leather Angel, some glam, hair metal here. This was actually a discovery of Nikki Sixx, Motley Crue. So it's got that kind of Crue kind of vibe to it. This is called We Came to Kill by Leather Angel. Their only release, I believe. And a couple of them went on to some other projects afterwards. This is on the Miami label. Not really that familiar with that label. An LA-based record label called Miami 1992. The release came out in '83, so a few different angles on that one. Female-fronted. Got to talk about L7. Some L7 here. Some grunge. Riot Girl stuff from the 90s. Actually, this is like late 80s. This is like 88, I think, this record came out. But part of that whole sort of grunge alt-rock kind of scene. Only L7 record I got. This is a reissue too. Their debut album. I think it's a color vinyl. It's clear vinyl, which is a real pain in the ass to DJ with or to look up songs. But on Epitaph, and this one does have the Wax the Tadpole song for a hit from that record. So L7's debut, L7. Then, for some electronic music, we got Liaison Dangereuse. Pretty well-known in the underground electronic scene. I've had this record for a while. It's a reissue, of course, but this one's like I feel like a 2000s era. Yeah, 2002 reissue. Originally came out in 81. So, German group, I think members of DAF, one of the members anyway, is involved in this. So although they're from Germany, the lyrics and song titles are often in French or Spanish on this record. Very cool stuff, kind of synth wave, synth pop, but underground. Back to some hair metal, and got Lita Ford, who was in The Runaways, I believe, with Joan Jett. So a little bit of Lita Ford. This one has Close My Eyes Forever, which I think was a song with Ozzy, if I'm not mistaken. Got Lita Ford. And also out of LA, we got Lizzie Borden. This is not Lizzie Borden. This is just a chick on the cover, but the band, Lizzie Borden, out of LA. Good sort of power metal, kind of hard rock, hair metal at times. Love You to Pieces is the name of this album by Lizzie Borden on Metal Blade Records, 1985. Next up, from way out east, Thunder in the East. Got to show some loudness on this one. Japan's own answer to the hair metal craze, I guess, of the 80s. Pretty famous band. Remember seeing their videos for the first time, just loving this stuff. From 1985, this has got the Crazy Nights on here as well. This is a pretty beat up copy that I picked up, but it's my only copy for now. So, loudness. And I got some East Coast stuff here to show finally, after all that West Coast stuff. If I can get it out of the bag here. Yeah. A little bit of crossover, hardcore thrash crossover here. Lost for Words. These guys are out of New York. The album's called Prey. Really good crossover stuff. If you're into like DRI, Cryptic Slaughter, it's along that ilk. And it's on Death Records, actually, out of LA, sub-label of Metal Blade. But yeah, the band is from New York. And don't think they did anything else after this, but it's a really good record. Glad I got that in the collection. And then we'll finish off here with a little bit of hip-hop. New York style, of course. We got to show some LL Cool J. This is Bad. His second album. Probably one of his best, maybe his best. It's definitely where it all came together, really. The debut is really good, too. But this is on Def Jam, produced by Rick Rubin. And then, still at the very edges, the end of the golden era, we'll say. We got Lords of the Underground, Psycho. Kind of at the end of the golden era, but start... kind of influential in the start of the next era of hip-hop, I think, with like the raucous sound and that more minimalist kind of hardcore hip-hop. This is the Psycho single, really good single. And last but not least, I got to show a little bit of Low Profile. Possibly a little bit obscure. They were on some soundtracks and such. West Coast hip-hop. They're on Priority Records, along with NWA, Dr. Dre, that kind of crew. But this is produced by DJ Aladdin and WC, who also did some stuff, I think, with Ice Cube as well. But this was their initial band called Low Profile. Really good, strong hip-hop. Bit funky at times as well. This is the Pay Your Dues. I just have these singles. I don't have the actual album by them, but that's some Low Profile. And that's my L's for this week. See you guys on the next one.